guys, welcome along, episode 13, I think. Yeah, episode 13. Right. I've called it Netherdeep. Darth's in charge.
Yes, I am Darth. Welcome back. I have with me playing today Laura.
Hi, I'm Alora. I'm playing Thea, the Wildfire Druid.
I have Matt.
Hi, I'm Matt. I'm playing Miles, the PSI Human Fighter Warrior.
I have James.
Hi, I'm James. I'm playing Zada Stonebringer, Divine Soul Sorcerer and Paladin.
I have Josh.
You've got Tiefling. Hi, I'm Josh. I will be playing Binks the Cat Anthropomorph.
Yay!
Way of Mercy Monk.
And I have Jamal.
Greetings. I am Unit 2B01 and I am presently malfunctioning, so I apologise for any further issues that shall be occurring.
Alrighty then. We last left off. The party had just arrived in... what's the city called?
On Corel.
On Harel? Yep. You all went to the library of the Cobalt Soul with Question, so she could talk to her superiors about helping you guys and also reporting in from her time in Bazazan. Binks got into a lot of trouble trying to explore. He is currently on probation in the library of the Cobalt Soul. You all then went off with the help of Question a little bit to find a lodging, a place to stay for the time. You found a nice little house right outside of the River District, where you were told that previously the first home, the owner of the home before you killed someone in the basement and did something that the owner was not sure or aware of. You all found out that there were demons or some residual demonic energy left in the basement, but with the help of the ranger and the paladin, you were able to sort of completely repair the tear that happened because of the demons coming and grabbing you to hell, which is where we pick up the next morning. What would you all like to do?
I don't really know what there is to do.
Well,
How
you're
long-
in a new city.
Was Question going to contact us, or were we contacting her?
Question
She'd
said
be back in a couple of days, and then she'd come and find us.
she gave you all a little tablet and said that you'll get a message on there saying that she's gonna come pick you guys up and do whatever it is you're waiting on.
I want to go to a store nearby and see if they have a certain item.
Do you want to say what the nature of this item is? So
Yes, a ring of protection.
Magic shop.
Magic shop, yeah.
A magic shop, eh? Well, you do know from the map that you were given, I'll transfer you all to the main map, that... Is it? The main shopping district is over here. No, James, you were in the right spot. It's where your house is. I circled it on the map if you want to, for those of you who are zoomed in, pull out a little bit. Over there is where you know the shopping district to be. And so if you are looking, it's a very large district, so there's a very high chance that whatever you're looking for, they have something or something to the liking of it.
Yeah, I'm down to go there, look around, see if the amount of gold I have is,
Shopping sounds good.
I don't know how much anything costs around here. Anyone else want to come?
I'll definitely come. Is 100 gold a lot in a city like this?
I guess we're about to find out.
Group shopping trip.
I
sounds good.
wonder. Okay. I will come too.
Binks, you want to come?
Yeah, I'll come and browse the stores.
Alright, just don't do anything crazy.
When do I do anything crazy?
Yesterday.
I just wanted to look around.
Anytime the person or people who are supposed to be watching over you are not present, this is when you do something crazy.
Oh, suddenly the robot's awake.
Yes, hello.
Oh, I hung some flowers on you. I hope you don't mind.
Oh yeah.
You were just being really quiet yesterday, so I just, decided to liven you up.
Oh, how pretty.
So, just so I can get an understanding, Miles, you used to live in a small town, right? You're not experienced in very big cities like this, correct?
The town where we started off with the festival, that's where I lived. No one knows that because I lied.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And Xylus and Binks, you guys came from a temple, not really. Was it a temple from a big city, or like a temple on its own, or temple part of a small town?
It was like a temple that was like high up in the mountains, away from everyone and everything.
Binks, Xylus, and Thea, I want you all to give me. I'm going to say just a flat intelligence check.
This isn't survival.
It's not. It is technically a version of survival, but it's not anything Thea is familiar with.
That's very fair, especially considering my role. I got a 4.
Alright. So Binks and Xylus, you're able to sort of keep your minds collected as you guys are traveling about the city. You aren't really wandering, and you kind of are able to understand some facets of it. But Thea, you are very much overwhelmed by, it's like a sensory overload, as there is so many people, so many sounds, so many people yelling. It's still hot outside. You're still not dressed for the correct weather. And there are just so many like exotic plants that you see, and like you see animals that you've just never recognized before.
What animal?
It's
You can't say that to a druid. I want to know a list.
Raccoons. You've never seen a raccoon until you came to this city.
Well, it's nothing that you would be immediately able to be familiar with, but you're seeing, like, as a player, you could understand, like, you're seeing like camels, you're seeing lizards, you're seeing animals that you can assume would be comfortable with the desert heat, just because the climate is so much different than what you're used to. A lot of the animals just seem unfamiliar, or they have adapted in a way that makes them seem stranger. Like the birds, they might have like fewer feathers, or their feathers might be smaller, so that way they don't retain as much heat. Stuff like that.
Just gonna sort of scrunch into the middle of the party as we move.
What the heck did you just describe?
Me? 3 different animals.
Anyways,
Oh. Sorry.
it takes you guys. You guys left the house, I'd probably say about maybe 10 a.m. ish, a little bit before that. The heat is starting to beat down, as it does take a decent while, as none of you are really familiar with the city yet, to get across, like over to where the shopping district to be. It probably takes about 2-ish hours, just because a couple times you get lost along the way. But you get there and it's about noon-ish. And to say that there are a lot of shops and shopkeepers is a complete understatement. There are so many shops, so many shopkeepers, all saying various things, all of them claiming having the best items here. What do you guys do? What do you look for?
Oh,
We're probably looking for clothes first. Just like a normal clothing store, we can buy some more appropriate attire for this place.
Yeah. Luckily, you come across a set of 4 different shops. All of them do seem to be selling clothes, and clothes specifically for the area. And all of them have someone outside or a shopkeeper, all of them stating to be the greatest clothing stores in the land.
yeah, I'm good
Are
with
there
what I'm
any
wearing.
that doesn't have somebody outside yelling?
There is one store. It is a little off to the side. Like, it's not on, like, the direct main path. You have to, like, kind of walk around, like, a little bit of a side path, but you do see that it is also selling clothes, but doesn't have anyone standing outside, and it has a little gnome sort of sitting at a desk in the back with just, there's clothes racks, and he's kind of just sitting there. Looks like he's typing or, like, focusing heavily on, like, a book-like object.
I want to go in that one. The one that doesn't have to shout at you, that's the one who knows they have the best.
All right, let's go.
Alright. As you all enter, you hear a little bell ring as there's no doors that open up, but it's just as you sort of step into the shop itself, you hear a little noise come off, and the gnome sort of he raises his head a little bit, looking at you guys, and he says, "Oh, well, welcome to my shop. How can I help you?"
What do you have for 215 gold?
Binks, we are just here to buy some attire that is more comfortable. We can spend our money in the shops that have more exciting items.
You're looking for exciting items. Well, what specifically did you have in mind? I can see what I have. I don't know if I have anything that I would value at that high of a price, but surprise me. I sell very many goods and items.
Do you have anything magic?
Can I get a general idea of what you want specifically? I have some items with magical effects, but I don't know if you want clothes or a weapon or a ring.
So
And
I thought he only sold clothing. I see.
When you go in, you see lots of clothes, but he's saying that, there's probably more that he has, but smart
I
shopkeeper wouldn't have that out in the open where it could be easily stolen.
Well, to start off with, I'd like to get one of those light white, I don't know what they are. They're like a shawl thing, I guess. They look comfy. Everybody seems to be wearing them. They're not too hot. Like some clothes that are appropriate for the moment that don't do any magicking things.
Okay. Alright. Let me... And he kind of, his eyes are really, like, wrinkled, like, it's, like, completely wrinkled shut, but he, like, looks you up and down. He's like, I think I should have something in your size. Be right back. And, he sort of climbs down his little ladder that he was sitting on, and, you hear him rummaging in the back. Is there anything else you need me to look for while I'm back here?
This is more of a question for you, Darth. Is there like a list of stuff we could just look at?
No.
Oh.
Mostly, they don't provide they didn't provide
Alright.
me one. So this is mostly going to be
Okay.
tell me what
So,
you're looking for, and we'll
do you
see.
ha-
I'll see what I can do.
Do you, by any chance, have any magical rings?
I have a few, specifically for the adventuring kind, or just rings that do magical things.
Specifically, a ring of protection.
That is an interesting one. I'm not sure I have one of those. Let me check. Hold on, give me a second. Yes, I do have a ring of protection. It is quite old, though. He comes back with just a couple piles of clothes. He sort of puts it there, and he points at you, Xylus. He's like, you can do that. Those should be around your size. And then
Thank you,
he
sir.
starts looking in like a. He slides a door at the little desk that he's sitting at, and he's looking at a set of rings.
Sorry, Bings. Wow, I'm playing somebody else now. Xylus starts like posing different things to Binks and seeing what Binks thinks.
Binks is, you know those old cartoons where they're like love hearts come out the eyes and then like the tongue like rolls and like drops to the floor and like oh, like that kind of, yeah, it's that kind of thing.
I sent you a DM. That might help.
Yeah. I'm looking
cool.
at it right now.
Yeah.
Trying to...
TLDR, we're broke.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure
Just-
that you have enough for this specific ring.
It is worth mentioning, I did check through very briefly some guidelines online. It seems that Netherdeep does align with normal gold.
Yeah. No. If you remember last time, I said you're not gonna have to do any conversions, just because this is a big city you're in. So.
What
I
about a
moment-
cloak?
I moment that the prices are normal, like compared to other games.
A cloak of protection?
I could use a new cloak. I've been wearing this one for quite a while.
Cloak of any other sort of magical property.
I don't think I have any of the magical variety, I'm afraid. Yes, I'm sorry, but I don't have any cloaks that I think would be of interest with magical effects, but I do have just your plain cloaks.
Do you know where I could go to get one?
He sort of eyes you up and down, and he's like, are you part of any guilds? Any of the major factions of the city?
It's a good question.
No, you're not.
No, I know I'm not. I'm trying to anything of where we're from, but
Then you will find it very expensive to be getting any items of adventurer's quality. If you just want some normal everyday clothes, then perhaps I could give you all most likely could get some very easily. But from the looks of you, you are all adventurers, and I have a feeling you're looking for more, what's the word? Combat focused, I guess, items?
Is there anywhere in town or anything we could do to possibly make some money?
If you go to the guilds, many of them are willing to pay out for quests or missions that you need to do. And if you do enough of them and you're able to join, very often you're able to get some credibility, and stores are willing to lower prices down a little bit to stay in good standings with the guilds.
Well, I think that's our next step before we buy anything else other than just clothes.
Yeah, a lot of us aren't really dressed for the desert, but do you have anything?
Go ahead. Sorry.
Do you have anything that might allow me to shift back and forth between outfits? In other words, do they have a shift weave?
A shift weave? Oh, that does sound familiar. Let me check. I think I had one in the back. He goes back into the back, and shifting around, you hear a couple things fall over. You hear some crash. Yeah, dagnabbit! Here we are. And he comes back with an outfit, and it seems, I don't know how to describe how it seems, but you're able to, anyone who has magic is able to sense the innate magic on this, and he sort of climbs back up on his chair and he says, well, depending on the level of the shift and the changing, I think this might suffice with what you're looking for. And he kind of is looking at your outfit and he says, this should be able to, if I remember correctly. And he sort of looks up and he's like, yes, this outfit here should be able to withstand any shifting that you may do if you are a race who does it innately, or in a more nature sense, like a druid, then this should be able to handle it, but it should also be able to take on the form of whatever you want it to look like at the time, and it will take on the qualities to help you in whatever weather condition you're in.
And that sounds pretty ideal. What would your cost be for that?
Well, if I remember correctly, when I got this, it was nearly 10,000 gold, if I remember correctly. But this has gone very out of style, and you are one of the first people to come into my shop for a while. I'm feeling generous, and I'll say 50 gold.
Can I help bring that price down?
Oh my god.
I'm gonna, as he says that, I'm gonna like lean on the counter and like 50 gold. That is so last season.
No, what's last season is spending $10,000. Dollars? 10,000 gold
What's a
pieces?
dollar?
That's a good question. I'm remembering my currency wrong. 10,000 gold pieces on this and having no one ever buy it. That's what's last season, Sonny.
50 gold sounds amazing. I'll take it.
And it's been a pleasure. when you hand the gold over to him, he sort of puts it down, very similar to like the little outcrop or like the section he pulled off to look at the rings. He puts the money there. But more specifically, when you pick up the clothes, you feel like a magical, I guess the easiest way to say it is like a scan as it shimmers and shines, and then it is an exact replica of the outfit that you're currently wearing.
Sick.
Oh, that's cool.
And now I guess I also should buy something like what he's trying on, although maybe not that one. I wouldn't wear that one, Xylus.
Silas can't hear you. He's
I
too
know.
stuck up in his own mind. Is there anything else I can help any of you with?
Do you happen to have a ring of reaction?
What?
I don't think, even if I had one, you could afford one.
Excuse me? You see me in traditional monk garments and you think I'm poor?
Yes, that about sums it up.
How about braces of defense?
Braces of defense, you say? I'm afraid I sold my last one last week.
Cloak of displacement?
You don't listen very well, do you?
I'm sorry, I am afraid he does not.
I'll tell you for free. Any items that I may have of combat variety will be very much out of your price range.
What about some oddities and trinkets? Adventuring curiosities, if you will. Any of particular strangeness? Just on a curiosity level, if you please.
Well, I have a pot that always makes soup too hot. Just he goes, runs in the back, and picks and comes back with a pretty decent sized pot. He says, "All you must do is speak the command word, and it will generate soup of your choice. But it will always be too hot." Immediately.
Darth, you're really lagging out.
Oh, it isn't just me. Okay.
Darth has become the robot.
Darth's
Oh,
gone.
no.
Well, it looks like I'm DMing now. So, who wants some braces of defense? The shop has
Yes,
just got a
please.
delivery.
I'll take some of those.
I believe we have a hallway to go look through in a library somewhere.
We sure fucking do. Let's get these braces of defense and go.
We're going straight to the Cobalt Soul, just right in there. Nobody's gonna be able to stop us.
I think it's also time to like save the world. So if we could quickly do that, that'd be great.
That'd be great.
Wow, looks like our AC just went up 2 each, and we got another level in the time Darth was gone.
Oh my god!
I can't believe I got these scrolls of Meteor Swarm. Great
Literally
deal.
just googled best items for monk.
Oh, there's a
already
legendary
have that?
item I will tell you about. What's it called?
Oh, Darth said that his Wi-Fi crashed, but he said he'll be right back. James, do you want to put us on a...
his internet.
Yeah. I don't remember where we were. I think Binks was trying to swindle this old man for items.
That sounds
about right to me.
I think
Yeah,
unless
what do you guys
anybody
do?
wanted anything, we were just buying some normal desert attire.
Yeah, did I get a price on my beautiful sort of white cloak and sash? I didn't want the turban it was coming with. I just wanted the shawl and the cloak. Maybe some sandals.
He'll sort of turn to you and he'll say, if you're all getting desert attire, then I'll give you all a group deal after you all decide and choose.
Sounds suitable.
These bundle offers again.
I will glance over at Toby and look him up and down. You want
Desert
to...
attire would seem suitable for me. I could more easily cover my form, if we shall. Yes?
Fair
I
enough.
feel that may be useful in some circumstances.
So what do you want exactly?
5 sets of desert clothing, it seems.
One with a cloak.
I need some holes for some wings as well. But I can cut those myself.
And for a tail.
Alright. He's gonna sort of look at his wrist. And he's gonna say, give me, I'd say 30 minutes. And I think I can have all of it set up for you all.
We're paying in minutes?
I think it's... Let me show you all my work before I waste all of our time here.
I have to warn you now, we each only have about 10 to 20 gold. I don't know how much it's going to cost. I don't want to waste your time if that's not enough.
Let you be the judge of that. He sort of...
I get to choose a price, okay.
He
The
goes
cost
in
of
the back.
common clothing is 0.5 gold pieces, just throwing that out there.
Yeah, but he comes back, and once again, anyone who can sense magic senses very faint magic on this clothes. He says, "This is my own personal brand of desert clothing. It specifically helps regulate your body's heat even more than just protecting you from the sun does. It's very good for needing to venture across large and very long lands, and it helps make sure your body stays moisturized and you aren't losing water. Very similar to how camels and cactuses do it. Helps you store water."
Branded clothing? We're gonna be the coolest kids in the adventuring guild.
What's camel?
What's a camel? Think of a horse with lots of humps that
Oh,
store
it's the big
water.
thing. It's the big thing I saw on the way. Okay.
I assume so. But I usually sell these clothes for about a gold piece each. But with the custom order, I would be willing to say 4 gold pieces for all 5 of you, and I'll throw in the turban and shawl and the cloak.
Sounds good to me. I'll give him 4 gold.
As you try to hand it to him, he'll sort of put his hand up and he'll say, "Let me finish it first." And he sort of, he eyes each one of you up. He's like, "Give me 30 minutes.
We ain't got nowhere to go.
We'll go and buy some, I don't know, iced boba at a local cafe or something. Sit down and discuss the futility of politics in the world. Return 30 minutes later for some clothing.
Wonderful use of our time.
I don't know what else I'm meant to do.
We'll say that you explore around the shopping district. You find some other shops that may be of interest later when perhaps you aren't having to pay full price for everything. But when you return, he sits there once again reading his book, and as you enter, he's like, "Ah, yes, welcome back." And he sort of there's a little package sitting on the desk, and he sort of pats it. He's like, "I think that this is my best work yet. There's dividers for each one of you, and they should all fit and match whatever you need them to, including holes for tails or holes for wings."
Are the outfits matching each other? Are we all twinsies?
It's technically yes, but it's not in the sense that it's like, oh, everyone is like a color and it's like, oh, it's all coordinating. You get a sense that this is like they all look the same, right? But all of them have like little flourishes that seem to be unique to all of you.
Oh my goodness, we're the Power Rangers. It's morphin time! Stegosaurus!
Is there anything else I can help you with?
No.
For reference, you said I was too poor to get any monk items, but you never actually said how much they were. If I was to come into some money, how much would those items be?
I have 2 monk items, I will tell you, and he'll go in back and he'll stay there for a lot longer than he's ever stayed before. And he comes back with like a chest, and he opens it up, and it's 2 bracers, and it's like in hand. There's a set of bracers, and there's a set of hand wraps, and they are adorned with monk writings and symbols and runes, and you can sense the power inside of them. He says, "I got this from a grand master monk. Many years ago, I beat him in a game of poker. But this, I would need the correct price to let this go."
Poker? I hardly know her. Bitch!
Alright, you're never getting these.
So this monk didn't have a ring of free action?
No, I do not have one of
Oh,
those.
or a cloak of displacement?
Is there anything I can help any of the rest of you with?
Or a ring of stars?
You have been very helpful, thank you.
I have
Will be,
but
Binks.
one more request, if I
And
may.
Toby.
Yes. What is your request?
Do you by any chance have something to silence the droning on of this one here? And I give side eye to the monk.
Yes, I think I do have something. And he rummages down a little bit, and he brings out a giant paddle, and he's just like, "I call this the silencer. I used it on my kids a lot."
I'm gonna turn to Xylus and say, your paddle's bigger.
I'll give it to you for free if you make sure you use it very often.
As you fuck's sake, Jamal, you don't have your name in your Discord. As you give that to B, I'm just gonna look at him with like very like yes please eyes.
Why do I feel this will not go how I suspected it would?
I don't think it will either, but I will ask, please do not do anything too strange in my shop.
Noted. That is all.
But with that, assuming you all leave the shop, and most likely, any stores you go to, anything that you ask for is probably going to be a bit out of your price range. And so, as the day sort of draws to an end, right, the sun starts to go down again. The tablet that question gave you, it starts flashing.
How do we send it to voicemail?
Oh my god.
I'll hold it up and just sort of tap on it.
When you do, you start to hear a message out loud. The question is just like, "Oh, hello all. I just received notice from my superiors that they are ready to see you. Not right now, as the library is about to close, but tomorrow, at around 8 a.m., they would like to meet you. If you want, I can come pick you guys up and grab you and take you. Otherwise, 8 a.m. at the library. You just need to go there and ask for Owen.
What do you suggest we do until tomorrow?
Well, seeing as it is about 6 p.m. and the sun's setting, go to sleep.
Well, that sounds like a plan to me. I'm tired.
I don't know what you all do or like to do in your spare time, but I'm sure you can all find something to do to stay mostly out of trouble. Except for Binks, he'll probably get himself in a lot of trouble. Do you all want me to get you, or tomorrow morning? Or
Is breakfast included, or do we need to get that ourselves?
I think that is something you'll need to get yourselves. We don't very often serve breakfast for missions.
But you have before.
Yes, on big expeditions we've done it.
Is this expedition not big enough?
This isn't an expedition, this is a mission. There's a difference.
What's the difference?
We'll see you at 8. Question.
Okay, thank you. And with that, it sort of ends abruptly, cuts off, and yeah, you're given your first mission tomorrow morning.
How excellent. So, what's until then?
Well, as you arrive back home, you find sitting on your, I guess, dining room table is the best way to say, is a little housewarming gift. It is some brandy and some red wine, as well as other assortments of other things. And
Is that a note?
Yes, it's a note from it has a note from your landlord,
Ernie. It's from Ernie.
Ernie.
Oh yeah.
It says I heard about the commotion last night. I very much apologize. And consider next month's rent free. And here's a little housewarming gift to celebrate you moving in. Again, I apologize, but enjoy the brandy. It is one of my favorites.
Is there beer in this world?
Yeah, there's like generic beer and stuff like that.
Okay, good. I'm glad they didn't give us beer with wine.
You asked if there was ale because you didn't want it?
Well, you know that saying, wine before beer makes you feel queer, and beer before wine makes you feel fine. So I'm just glad that we didn't have both.
I know that saying completely backwards from each other.
I've never heard that saying before, but whatever.
Well, the
That's
saying I
'cause
know
you're
is
12.
liquor before beer is you're in the clear.
That sounds about right. I've heard that one before. But what do you all do for the night?
I go out hunting for more Balguda.
All right, so Miles is playing Batman. What is everyone else doing?
I would like to play Poison Ivy.
What sort of time is it? Sorry.
It's about 6 p.m. by the time you guys get home.
Yeah, I think if Binks is up for it, maybe we might go for a little walk and just. We're near this grassy area, right?
Yeah, the River District. It's like the best way to describe it. It's like a giant park.
Yeah, maybe just go explore that.
Yeah.
It's been very hectic the last few weeks, you know, and saving the world and whatever. And it might be nice just to take a moment out to really, you know, assess how far we've come and how terrifying the city is being so large.
You know what might relax you since we're near a river? We could baptize the robot.
I'm good. But no, I think just a nice evening. I'm sure there's a conversation there to roleplay with Binks, but my brain won't quite summon it up. So it's fair to say we'll just go and discuss the things we've done and the things we're doing. Go for the wander.
What's everyone else doing while the couple is out on a little romantic stroll?
Well, it's me, Thay, and a robot left behind.
Mm-hmm.
Any?
I thought you were out being a bat person.
Oh, that was just a joke. There's no more Balguda. Do you have anything you want to do?
I do not really have anything I require aside from routine and scheduled maintenance for myself and my defender.
We could go gamble somewhere.
I've never gambled.
You want to try? You make a lot of money.
Oh, we do need a lot of money, don't we?
If I understand correctly, though, couldn't we also lose a lot of money?
Not if you're good at it.
Not if you start broke. You can only lose a bit of money.
Uh-huh.
But if you can lose a lot of money, why do it in the first place?
Because you're desperate.
Huh.
Like us.
Fair point. Gambling it is.
That then make us more desperate, though.
Well, I mean, if we have any other idea something to do, then we could do that. But outside of gambling and going to like a tavern and just relaxing, I can't think of what we need to do until tomorrow.
You do know that there's a tavern very close by that you guys could go to.
You know, let's just go to the tavern.
Isn't it owned by Bert?
Yeah.
Yes.
If Binks and I return from our walk and find the party unavailable, we shall head to the tavern to seek them there.
Tavern
To the
or
Haired
gambling?
Mongoose.
Yeah, the hair mongoose. We're going to the hair mongoose.
All right, so I think it's safe to say that the night is spent just with some drinking, relaxing, just sort of taking it easy for once. Really got a chance to do it yet.
If we get a chance to make Miles gamble against us and win all his money, we'll do so.
Good try.
Yeah, no interest in gambling against other people, but it's a win-win situation for me. I've got 10 gold, you've got 100.
It's not a win-win because you can only bet 10, I can only bet 10.
Yeah, but once I've got 20, I can bet the 20 until you've got nothing left.
Unless I take your 10 and then you just can't gamble anymore.
And that's okay.
Okay. So the next morning comes, bright and early, 8 a.m. You all hear the pounding on the door, and you hear a question. She's just like, All right, let's go. We have to. I want to get there very early, so you all make a good impression.
I'm gonna immediately open the door, like inches away from her face, like I'm standing. Just be like, "Good morning."
You tell she went from a very like sort of chipper, happy to immediately just like a dead neutral face, just like.
I'll offer her a sausage.
Thank you. I just want to check. Is the music working for you guys? Okay.
I don't hear music.
Drag us
no
to the
music.
homepage and drag us back to where we are, and it'll work. We hear music.
Okay, good.
We did
I do
until
not.
you stopped it. Oh, there you go.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. Yep. I was just making sure it was playing the right track. Anyway, she'll accept the sausage and she'll say, all right, but we should make haste. Like I said, I want to make sure you all make a good impression.
The sausage looks back at her. No. I don't know, it was so personal. She looks at the sausage. I don't have any way of making the sausage nod. I will just hand her the sausage and follow her out the door. Still munching on my own bit of breakfast, as we go.
Yeah, she's moving a lot faster than she did before. She's very quickly moving through. Luckily, though, it is a lot less busy right now, as it is still sort of the early hours of the morning. People are still like waking up and stuff like that. You do smell some some hot buns and like some eggs and bacon from like stalls that are just selling stuff. But she takes you straight to the library and she stops right outside of it. She turns to you all and she says, "Okay, you're going to meet Owen, my direct supervisor. Be respectful. Try not to point out anything that might seem strange to you all. And try not to be yourself, Binks."
Binks isn't paying attention. He's just kind of like looking up at like the nearby buildings.
Yeah, she like snaps in your face, like, "Hey, Binks, Binks."
Get some
rude.
manners.
I didn't hear what you said, James.
I told her to get some manners. That's rude.
Yes, that's the rude thing here.
Clicking her face as she says them.
Okay, and I'm starting to regret choosing you all. Whatever.
I heard that.
Good.
I think you were meant to.
But she opens the door. She sort of walks past. "Good morning, Laura." And she leads you past, and you start going down one of the hallways, the forbidden hallways. Before she starts leading you all down, she'll turn to you, Binks, and she'll say, "Binks, follow us. Don't wander off, please."
I'm not going anywhere. Awfully jumpy this morning.
Whatever. She'll lead you down some corridors, some hallways, and then she leads you to a big set of double doors. And she says, "All right. Here we go. Good luck." And she sort of opens the door and then sort of ushers and pushes you all in. And there, you see a half-orc sitting there. Owen stands on the edge of a balcony and points down at a pale wizard wearing academic robes. The wizard, who has numerous body piercings, seems to be minding his own business while reading a book. Next to him leans a staff topped with a carving of a snake's head. So Owen is sitting on a balcony, right? And as you all enter, he recognizes you all enter, and he starts pointing to something, which is the wizard that he's speaking of.
I'm gonna walk over with my hand stretched out for a handshake and just be like, "Hi, you must be Owain."
As you say that, he turns to you and he puts his finger to his mouth. So currently, you all are overlooking like the library itself, and you see a few people down there, and you see Pinks now. You see that he's pointing to a person down there, and he sort of turns his head to you and he says, "Our investigators report that that man is likely a cultist of Zephyr, the Cloaked Snake, one of the Betrayer gods. I ask you all to follow him back to his home, and without causing a scene, figure out why he's here. If he's here to cause trouble, I want you all to apprehend him and hand him over to the city guards. Can you all do that?"
I'll do that. I'm gonna turn to Miles, and since he told us to be quiet, I'm just gonna be like, "Are we the police?"
I'm just gonna whistle back. Thanks, just continue being yourself. Don't worry about what they say. We're fine. What did you just cast that on?
I didn't mean to. I was reading something like...
Okay.
Silas is just attacking the room.
Those mistakes were
We're
indeed
actually
made.
assassins.
25 ninjas jump down and all corner inside.
We're actually here for you, Owen.
Just trying to work out if there was any reason for me to use the 3rd level spell slots to summon my Oath Weapon. And the answer is no, so I've used a 2nd level spell slot casting Oath Weapon for the day. Well, I mean, it's for good, but yeah. Each day I summon it. It's just basically a +1 weapon.
Yeah.
I was just reading whether a 3rd level one did when I cast inflict wounds damage.
But
is there any reason we can't just talk to him and ask him if he's a cultist? Zadis will ask the gentleman this, and I'll explain that I can be most persuasive.
Owen will turn to you and he'll say, "If that is how you want to go about it, that is fine. It's just if he is a cultist of one of the Betrayer gods, that means that he most likely seeks the downfall of our city and the standing and the balance of order itself. So it can be tricky as well."
I have 2 questions, and Binks is going to continuously whisper until he's told otherwise. First of all, with balance, doesn't then need to be evil? And second, to balance out the good.
He nods as you say that. He understands what you mean.
And second, yeah, it's just because James gave you a weird look.
Yeah,
I was confused.
And second, what makes you think that he's a cultist?
He says, "I've had some of my operatives shadowing him for a couple days now. He suddenly appeared here, out of seemingly nowhere, and a lot of the things that he has been looking at in the library lean more on the darker side of magic. And to answer your first question, it isn't that we seek to stamp out evil wherever it is. It is that most likely, if he is a cultist, as I said, then he is looking to upset the balance between good and evil."
So he moves from his old town to this town and wants to study magic, and you think he's a cultist?
It's not thus that he's studying magic, it's that he's looking into the darker aspects that magic can lead to.
Then I have another question. If you have the material here to research dark magic, are you a cultist?
He'll sort of smile to himself and he'll say, "That is how it could come off and it could seem. But one who works for the side of good must understand what evil can do and what it learns." Yes. As he's saying that, he starts smiling as he says, "Yes, you're correct. You are right. It very well could be that he wants to do the same. It's just that we're not sure." and so we just want you all to check.
Well, I was
That's all.
also gonna say that we don't know that you're good. We're only going based off what you tell us.
Exactly.
Also, if you was really good, why wouldn't you go find out yourself?
Because, as Question told me, you all seek our help. And to get access to our resources of the higher scale and magical variety, you have to prove to us that we can trust you. So this came up, and so instead of sending out one of our agents, this is a perfect opportunity for you all to show us what you're capable of.
So, we want to see your magical material, and you don't think we're cultists?
Well, Question notified us of what you all currently possess, or could possess.
What if Question's been turned? And I'll look at her and then look back at him.
Well, she's standing outside the room, so you can't.
Oh,
really
okay,
look
that's
at her.
fine then. Yeah.
But he says, well, if that's the case, she's doing a very good job of hiding it then, and as are you.
Are you sure he's not evil? I mean, have you heard him talk?
Wait, who do you mean?
I'm looking at Binks. Pointing at Binks.
I am someone who likes to give everyone the benefit of the doubt, innocent until proven otherwise.
Well, I have a question for you, Owen.
Yes.
How do you know we don't secretly undercover work for this man, and we are also part of his cult? And you just told us all this undercover information.
Why would you say such a thing, Miles?
Well, he just so clearly trusts us. I'm curious as to why.
It is because of my charming and beautiful face. And,
Or is it because you trust Question?
I wouldn't do that.
Question.
She's got quite a temper on her.
Actually, she's very well mannered, unless someone very much provokes her. Don't think that I don't know what you did. And he turns to Binks.
You don't know the real her.
I trust Question.
Question has been working for us for a very long time, and I trust her opinion, which is why we sent her out on the expedition.
A long time to gain your trust and deceive you, perhaps.
And she trusts my beautiful smiling face now. Should we get this mission done?
Indeed. But either way, do you want the job or not?
Yes, we'll take it. How much are you paying?
The most difficult of questions.
He's not paying, is he? Oh well. We'll do it anyway.
Yeah, he kind of turns his head a little bit, and he's like, later on down the line, perhaps you will get paid for jobs
this is a
such as
trust-earning job. We shall prove ourselves trustworthy. Even my husband.
Before we do this job,
Won't we, Binks?
To make sure that you have the goods that we want.
Won't we, Binks?
Can we at least see the goods?
What goods? What?
He said that we're doing this to get magical info and stuff, right?
What?
So, just as a reminder, the reason why you're here is because you were told that one of the three alliances, or that all of the alliances that you could choose to join, all have the means of telling you more about the Jewel of Three Prayers. That's why you've come to them, so you can learn more and learn more about your visions as well.
Okay, right, yeah. So to prove they can do that, how about we see that proof? Because we gotta trust you too. There's no point doing a job for you if you don't have the goods to back it up.
He turns to you and he sort of just... You get a mental flash of facilities, and a whole bunch of scientists, like alchemists and other things, all examining magic items, and a bunch of other knowledge about the Jewel of Three Prayers that you all already know, but it's part of the information that they have. He says, will that suffice?
Oh my goodness. I've just seen Area 51.
I don't know what that is, but is that enough for you?
Yes, I suppose, unless that was an illusion, which it could have been.
You're very untrusting. I like you.
Says the one who says people are innocent till proven guilty, and yet you're already making this guy out to be guilty.
No, I'm not.
We are supposed to go find out if he's guilty. I feel like you missed a part of this mission.
I think you're missing what I'm telling you, which is that I think he is innocent. It's just I would do it personally and check, but you all need a mission to gain our trust. This is a simple one.
Then why don't you come with us?
Because what good does that do learning about it? I need to see how you all react and how your group works when not under any other supervision.
Because we could leave this room, wait 12 hours, and come back and tell you anything.
Okay, thank you. We're gonna go now.
He sort of is just, he's still sitting on the balcony and he just starts chuckling as I'm assuming everyone just pulls Binks out of the room. So we're gonna be there forever. So you come out of the
So
room.
we'll be pulled out of the room before Binks gets the chunkler.
Yeah. Question is sort of sitting there. She's like, well, how did it go? What did he say?
He said that you're a very lovely, well-mannered woman.
Oh, that's quite nice, but that isn't what I meant.
He said he believes in being innocent or proving guilty.
We are looking to see if a man in the library is a cultist to one of the betrayer gods or not.
And perhaps we should go to the library before we lose his location if we're meant to be following him.
Oh, him. Yes, he has been... from what I've heard, he has been coming around very much lately and studying some very strange things, so this is a very good starting job for you all. I wish you the best of luck.
I have a question.
Yes?
These things that are suspicious for this person to be reading upon, why aren't they in a restricted section?
They are in the restricted section. It's just this man has requested access, and he passed the necessary means needed to, and so we've given him access.
The absolute nerve.
And we're walking.
So the question will take you all. She'll lead you all back to sort of the entrance, and she'll say, "Well,
as we're walking, I'm just gonna say, like, I don't really like this skulking around. It feels like an honest approach is better.
You're not skulking around to like go to him.
We're sneaking around following him.
Well, that's what you
where he goes
said.
and what he does. Yeah.
Well,
I'm just saying, like, Xylas feels uncomfortable with this, but he sort of looks at Binks and.
Well, if you remember, Owen did say you can do it by whatever means that you feel most comfortable with.
Yeah, no, I know.
It's just,
that's fine.
Yeah.
And I'll say to Binks that I can't deny that you're sort of ideally suited to this. You're always the better at being quiet, sneaky. And I'm going to sort of step a little while back so that, like, I can see Binks, but I'm further back, knowing that I am, I'm a 6'2", black-skinned tiefling with big wings. I'm like the least inconspicuous person in the planet. And I've got the stealth skills of a mule. So I'm just going to hide really far back.
Yeah, just as a reminder, currently questions leading you back to the entrance.
Oh, no, I know that. I meant, like, once we get out, like...
Yeah.
Right now, last we saw him, he was still in the library.
Question.
Yes?
What's his name?
His name? I think they said his name was, Lauren, if I remember correctly.
And as out of character, as a party, are we wanting to be sneaky?
With the setup we have, there is no reason that you couldn't be incredibly good at it.
Sure,
There's no
but
reason we could, like, enter separately, and if you wanted to talk to her to him directly. Some of us could just sit at tables, quote unquote stealth, just being around.
The sort
We
of
could be.
honest questioning I would do, though, may raise his suspicions enough to shy from his point. Perhaps if we see him doing something directly suspicious, that would be the time to confront him.
I would be willing to talk to him one-on-one.
Well, you're all about to get the chance, because as Question sort of takes her leave from you all, and you all are sort of sitting there discussing, he begins to leave, and the air and the tone around him is one of sourness and a bit upset, as he sort of is like huffing and puffing out of the library.
Can I quickly intercept him?
Really? Of all the people who's going to talk to him, it's going to be you? Okay, go on then.
Good luck.
Like,
Yes, what is it?
I wanna accidentally on purpose bump into him.
Excuse you?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't see you there.
Fine. Just try to watch where you're going in the future, and he'll begin to leave again.
Wait. Do you come here often?
Oh my
I
god.
don't quite have time for flirting.
I'm not
sorry.
flirting. I'm generally asking. Do you come here often? This is a library.
Yes, I come here, I guess you could say often.
Oh, what do you like reading? I really like the romantic novel section. Twiglight?
I don't have time for this, I'm sorry. I must be going.
Going where?
He begins to leave.
I'm gonna put a hand on Binks's shoulder and I'm gonna lean over and say, I'm sorry for my husband. He's ever so curious. We just noted that you seemed a little upset. Might I ask what ails you, friend?
You see his face, it's like... Let's just say what I was looking for is not going very well.
Well, I'm something of a scholar. Perhaps I might be of assistance? There are many things that can be found elsewhere from here.
He looks you up and down and he says, you do seem to be the scholarly type, but not of the information that I'm looking for.
No,
I'm sorry,
I studied in the
must
halls of the
be going.
Everlight.
Exactly.
Oh, you are looking for something of darker nature, perhaps?
No, I'm not. It's just, I don't think that your teachings are going to be very helpful for me right now. I'm sorry, I must be leaving. And with that, he begins to walk out unless someone physically stops him.
I didn't want to interrupt, but as Binks was talking to him, I would have walked past and gone toward the outside so that I was outside-ish in order to watch when he came out.
Yeah, I'm gonna sort of quite firmly set myself in front of him and say, you seem awful jumpy.
Is there a problem here?
I merely asking if there is something that you are looking for. Perhaps I might be of assistance.
He sits there just like, why are you trying to help me so much? You don't even know me.
Perhaps
and
I'm not.
I must be leaving.
Must you? Okay. Very well.
Oh, I have a question. Do you believe cultists are inherently evil?
He leaves.
My God!
So I don't think, yeah, I don't really think things would actually, would he, in that situation. Like, he has some idea of subtlety. Yeah, okay, fine. I'll do it.
Really? I mean, Binks that everyone should be honest all the time.
Yeah, but like...
Yeah, as he comes out, you see him, he immediately sort of puts his hand in the air. He's just like, it's like, carriage! And while you were standing there, there are some other people sort of standing around. One of them runs off, comes back like a minute or so later with a carriage pulled by a horse. And he's just like, if you could take me to this location, please, I'd very much appreciate it. And he hands him 2 silver pieces, and he starts to head off.
Gonna look at the others if they've walked out the door after him. Did you guys walk out with him?
I mean, I would very much like to try and stealthily jump on the back of the carriage.
While you're doing that, before that happens, can I just, with a gesture, put a mark on the back of the carriage, sort of down by the wheels with prestidigitation, just so we can identify that carriage.
You can do that. Binks, roll me stealth, disadvantage. Actually, give me an acrobatics check. Or no, give me a stealth first, and then we'll see how you do, and maybe we'll see how your acrobatics does.
A disadvantage.
Disadvantage.
$13.
Alright, you're able to approach the cart without really anyone stopping you. Give me an acrobatics check at disadvantage.
If I see that Binks is trying to jump onto the carriage, I'm going to... you also use prestidigitation to make sort of a gonging sound a little far away from him so that people might be a little distracted from what he's about to do.
That's a 7.
The carriage, it starts leaving before you're able to... It's a pretty small carriage. It only fits like 2 people. There's not really anywhere for you to like hide. It's not like a big bulky carriage with like an outside you can hang on to or anything like that. No one sees you attempting to sort of move towards it, but it leaves way too quickly for you to try to get on it.
Is there anything to say that I can't fly in this city?
You've seen some flight around the city. You also haven't seen very many people with wings. So, yeah, potentially.
I'll turn to Thea, and you mentioned being able to transform into an animal. Can you fly?
No.
Can you become something small?
Yes.
That can see well?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, basically, I'm more than happy to fly up there, but my perception is like minus 408, so I want to take somebody up that can see.
I believe I keep my own wisdom.
Wisdom,
stat.
you do, yeah.
You do, yeah.
But some animals have advantage on perception checks to see or to hear or to smell or whatever. So anyway, if you would, I can get us up in the air where we can follow that carriage.
I think I'd also say Thea's seen like owls before in the wild.
She can't transform into a flying creature yet.
Oh, yeah.
Xylus asked because Xylus doesn't know that. James knows that.
I
she
forgot
needs one
that,
more level,
yeah.
I believe.
Yeah.
Speaking of wild shaping, if you have a feat, like let's say if you had the mobile feat and then you turned into like a hawk, could you like attack and then fly away so you're out of range?
Yeah.
Wow, that could be really OP.
I mean, I could just.
I will turn into a snake
me.
after I link my mind
nice and
with
easy to
Miles.
Oh, sick. Okay, that's genius. Fantastic. We've got eyes in the ground,
Alright,
eyes in the sky. And I will
Give me a strength check.
carry a snake.
No. So this strength check is for this long-lasting flight to see if you're able to keep this up for a very long time, right? See, it's basically to see how often you have to sort of touch down and let your wings like rest like a cooldown, basically.
I can do that, but I do fly more easily than I walk. But I'll go for thinking. Yeah, I don't know if I can guidance myself in this situation, but if not, it's a 12.
I'll say that you're able to follow him, but you do have to stop every once in a while, and every time you do lose like he does get a little bit farther ahead of you each time, right? And you're not fully able to make it up every single time. You have to keep going back up, but you're able to follow him to where he's going.
Okay. Yeah, if we can work out exactly where he's going.
We'll have been giving directions to Miles and thereby the other two as we go.
Exactamente. We'll wait.
Yeah, I'm still inside the library. I haven't left since. Well, I mean, like after I would have walked out after, but I strictly made it known that I was not with all of you while in the presence of this guy. Once he's gone, I'll come out. But
Yeah. So.
I don't be seen with you, basically, all of you.
Right.
That's
I don't blame you.
understandable, to be fair.
That's perfectly fair. But Xylus, after a while, you and Thea, you don't lose track of him, but the carriage stops and he gets off of it. You're able to catch up to him, but
We won't. We'll settle on a building a little further away and just keep.
Yeah, you're able to see the general area that he is like in, but you don't know like basically you don't know what building he's in, but you have it narrowed down to like a handful.
Can we get an indication of roughly where that might be?
Yes, it's where you are on the map. If
yes, I understand that from like a, but to me this is a square with some pretty pictures on it. I mean, like, is it an urban district? Is it a residential district? Is it?
Yeah. So this is a little bit of. It is like it's like a modern like shady district, if that makes sense. It is a lot nicer than some like than say like the streets of like Bazazon, right? And it does seem like this is sort of like a middle class area, but you also, especially from like the perch that you're sort of sitting at, you see lots of people like in alleyways doing shady deals and other things like that. It seems as though this is where like a little bit of a higher class criminal comes to like get space, right?
As I notice this, I'll sort of say out loud to Thea, can you perhaps report to Miles? I know you're connected to his mind, even if you can't speak out loud. Just tell them to be subtle about coming into the district. It seems like this is not a place that would welcome outsiders.
Much. Did that come through? My mic didn't light up on Discord.
We didn't hear what you said.
I will relay the information, and then I'll also mention to Miles to relay it to Binks and Toby before they separate completely, because I can't communicate with the other two.
Yeah, I'll just tell Binks and Toby the area we have to go, and just we have to be basically, Binks, don't act the way you've been acting recently. Don't draw any attention to yourself. Keep quiet.
Are you all going together, or are you like gonna go into like sort of like
once we get there
and then split off?
I plan on splitting off from everyone else.
I'll be splitting off as well. I'll kind of do the same sort of thing. Just so that we're not all going together as one clump and bringing that much attention to ourselves. I bring enough attention to myself anyway. I don't want to attract it more to the others.
Yeah. So as you all start to get closer and closer to it, Toby splits off, and then Miles splits off. Right. All of you have relayed sort of what the idea is, and I want Toby, Binks, and Miles to give me perception checks, and then also give me stealth checks.
I'm not trying to.
It's not a sense of trying to hide yourself. It's more of trying to blend in with everyone around, so you don't stand out.
Oh dear. That is a 6 perception. Okay.
I got 11 perception, and I got a nat 20 for a 28 on my stealth. And I just want it to be known that with this superb stealthing, Binks is like dramatic, like tiptoeing like a burglar, whilst muttering under his breath, and then like sticking to the wall like.
Yeah. So Binks,
Kronk.
You're basically like a wraith, and like no one notices you whatsoever. Like it's like even when like when Toby and Miles sort of split off, it's more of like they split off from each other than anything else, because you were doing such a good job of hiding. That being said, most of you all are not really paying attention to the area as much. You are able to blend in enough that you are able to blend in enough that it's not noticeable, right? And you're not sticking out like a sore thumb, but you're not keeping track of everyone else around you, though.
All right.
Are they in the district yet?
Yeah,
Like,
they're
do
in
we
the
notice
district. You're able to notice Toby and Miles, but Binks is
Okay.
he's done a really good job of blending in.
Cool. Just to double check, has it been an hour since we took off?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll have a chat with Fair and well, now she can talk back. Yeah, I was just checking if she was still snaky wakey. Do we go down to them? Do we? I don't know. I don't like this. I'm not a skulker. I like to confront things head on. This district doesn't look particularly pleasant either.
He didn't seem to much care for the head-on approach.
No, but there
I
are
think
ways
we
of
need-
being even more persuasive. Forcefully.
I think perhaps the first thing would be to listen. If we can find him.
It's just, I sort of just gesture at myself. I kind of stand out, you know. Perhaps I'll stay up here and keep eyes. And then I think maybe we can discuss some sort of signal system. I mean, all I can do is with prestidigitation is.
Yeah, I
Doesn't
think.
actually say how small or big. An illusory image that can fit in my hand. They changed that.
Yeah. I think it's fair. We'll take a short break and let you all sort of talk.
Okay.
Off. Plan is sort of going into this real quick, and then we'll come back.
We'll be back in a moment. Hello, we're back. Carry on.
I just want to ask Thea, your communication, that like, how exactly does that work? You can just like talk into our mind if you're connected to us?
I can talk to everybody and I can give them the ability to respond back for an hour.
Oh, so I can respond back.
Yes.
Hey.
So right now, the two of us are still on the roof and the three of you are down beneath and you can talk to me. They can't.
Got it.
Silas can also talk to you, technically.
True.
What?
Yeah, you're standing
I can
next
talk
to
to
him.
Fair, yes. Sorry, I thought you meant I could talk to Miles. I was like, no, I can't.
Well,
Alright, so what do you all want to do?
I'm just gonna tell Thea then. 'Cause I currently have my hood up. If you see me take my hood down, then that means that he's in the building that I'm at.
Why wouldn't you just say it into her mind, he's in the building I'm at?
Oh, true. I could do that.
I mean, you can do an elaborate signal if you want, but how about he's here? Like, that's quite a good signal.
All right.
That's fine. You keep that signal. I will reach out to Toby
Yeah,
and I will tell him the same thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna say tell Toby, and if you find Binks, tell them that if they see me do that, that's what that means. If my hood's
Hood
down.
down, the world's about to explode. Got it.
I'll reach out to Toby, tell him the signal that Miles is going to give. Tell Toby, do you have some sort of symbol you want to do if you happen to spot him?
Excellent question.
Send 3 red sparks into the sky if you're in trouble.
I was gonna say throw his Beyblade at the wall, but
A little subtle.
I'd like to try something a little more subtle than throwing the toys out the robot.
I was just thinking of the Harry Potter, in the maze, three sparks into the ceiling thing.
I guess I could shoot up a spark of some form. That could work.
Small one. Okay.
That might be a little more attention grabbing to others as well. But otherwise, I don't have very many ways of.
Maybe look for
Yes.
Miles if you see him nearby. Try to communicate with him and he can signal to me. And Silas.
I will attempt to do that then.
I will look for Bing.
You will not find him.
What's my perception? Dang it, I can't find him.
If you want to roll
Don't
for
worry.
it,
Binks will.
No, I
Bing-
can't. I can't. I have a +7.
Don't worry.
Even if I nat 20'd.
Binks will reveal himself when he's ready, and we can get 31 on your perception if we try hard enough, love.
exactly. If you want to try to roll for it, I'll let you guys.
Yeah, no. I don't think we
first.
would even be searching that. Like, I'll just explain to Thayer that Binks, when he doesn't want to be seen, is very good at not being seen. But trust me, we'll know when he's found trouble. He's.
Binks,
Well,
what
I
are
know,
you doing?
I know. I'll very quickly activate the light on the jewel, and I'll point it to the sky, and I'll quickly flash it on and flash it off again.
Okay, so you're
That-
like an invisible, stealthy dude with a big flashing siren on your
Signal
head.
to you guys where I am.
But the problem is
So,
they
alright,
don't
you-
currently have communication with you, so they don't know
we
that's your
can if
signal.
we can see him. If we can see him, I think.
Do you do that at that moment to get their attention? Like, is that what Binks is thinking about right now, or is that?
No, Binks is thinking about who he's gonna burgle.
Yeah, that's fine. You go be stealthy. You'll reveal yourself as and when you've achieved
Yeah.
something, or when you start getting chased down the street. We'll be ready. And I'll say to Thayer, like, are you okay to stay up here, or do you want to be closer down?
For now, I think another person on the ground is just another person to be spotted.
I agree. Though I have to say, you were very subtle when you were not a person. But perhaps we'll save that. Can you do it again?
I can. I would prefer not to.
Okay. It's a very incredible talent. We should save it for an emergency. But
Guess I've
don't-
never really tried to be something that interesting. But maybe.
Perhaps if you need to get away subtly, for example. Snake is easier to hide. Keep it in case for an emergency for you is what I meant. Like, honestly, if we get into a massive combat and you turn into a snake, I don't think it's going to help us.
My 13 AC poisonous snake?
No, I think you should be there. But yes, I more meant like if you are immediately threatened, at least you can get yourself away, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna come first to Miles. Oh, what are you doing?
I'm just gonna I don't know how to pick up any of the buildings that he could possibly be in. I'm just gonna go and scout when I'm out, and if I think it's safe to go inside, I'm just gonna go in.
How far away from us?
I'd say you guys are at like just a little bit higher. Like you can you're just sitting above, basically like a bazaar.
Mhm.
Right, and he's in the bazaar right now. Height wise, maybe you're like 30 feet above.
And
But
distance? I'm
distance,
trying to cast a spell
far
on
away.
Miles. Right. Okay.
Mm,
Cool. That's
yeah, I'm
that's
gonna
it.
say you guys. Yeah, you can't cast any like magic like that on him.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if it was 120, maybe, but it's not. So, good luck, Miles. You'll be all right.
So the 4 buildings that you have to choose from, there is an apartment complex, there is a tavern, there is a shop that you can't tell what they're selling, and then there's just a plain I guess the easiest thing to call it is like a warehouse looking building.
Let's see. Apartment building. I'm just writing these down.
Okay. You were looking up apartment building.
Tavern. Mystery shop. Warehouse. Sound kind of. I'm gonna go to the into the tavern.
All right. It's like a quiet, shady type of tavern, where it's very quiet around. Everyone's very hush hush, talking to themselves. Like everyone seems to be basically involved in their conversations and making sure that no one's leaning in and listening. There is a barkeep in the back. It is a half orc. He's got a little scar across his eye that goes down. It kind of goes into the mustache that he has, where there's a little chunk missing. Right? He's just sitting there, sort of pouring out ales and stuff like that.
And I don't see the guy in here.
You do not immediately see him, no.
All right, I'm just gonna go sit down at the bar.
Right. What do you have?
Your not finest ale.
My finest ale is okay. He comes back. He gives you a tankard of what you assume is ale. He's like, "That's the finest I have here."
Perfect. I'll just put like a gold on the table.
He eyes you. He's just like, "What are you looking for, lad?"
Just a drink. I'm not from around here.
That's obvious. He
Just-
takes the gold and he sort of like bites down on it. Just like, well, with this extra tip, you can buy yourself much. You seem to be looking for something. Someone.
What maybe somewhere.
Oh, somewhere, indeed. I know much. And I'm willing to share some of that information.
I'm gonna roll an insight check on this dude, whether or not I feel like
What, he's lying? Like, what are you looking for?
I don't know if he seems like he's actually willing to engage in some kind of
Bargain?
like if he actually is looking to help me, or if he's strictly looking to figure something out, to like if he just wants to fuck me over, or whatever.
Alright.
Well, that ain't gonna do it.
You get the sense that he wants something.
I'm just gonna. I'm also like my movement and everything. Like as in the bar, I'm like clearly trying to not draw attention to myself, and like he can tell that obviously.
Yeah. Stick out like a sore thumb, lad.
Say, what do you want from me?
You've already given me everything that I want. I just figured that I'd help you.
What's the guy's name? Out of character?
You haven't asked.
No. The guy we're looking for. What's his name? Out of character?
Oh,
They told
you
us, right?
are
Lauren.
looking- Yeah.
Oh, Lauren. Okay, yeah. I'm just gonna. All right, I'm just kind of just for now. I'm kind of just scouting the area, trying to find a place to stay.
Why are you looking to stay around here? He
not
like,
necessarily
eyes your
here.
clothes. He eyes your clothes and the weapon on your back, and it seems like you're an adventurer, so you can get much better places than here. I
Well, I'm
recommend
not.
you leave this part of town.
Maybe I will. I'm not really. What's wrong with this part of town?
You don't know? That's part of the problem.
Maybe you can enlighten me.
As you say that, you feel a sharp edge point at your gut.
Oh, no.
And a tabaxi turns and looks at you and he says, "That's what he's referring to, lad. The fact that I was able to sit here with a knife at your gut for a good minute or two without you noticing." And he takes it away and he puts the knife away. You should get out of here before you get yourself hurt.
This is the Tabaxi talking.
Yeah, that's the tabaxi saying
Yeah.
it.
So I'm gonna
And
turn
the-
around and look at him then.
Yeah,
Sorry,
the orc
bud.
kind of sat there, like, smiling as this was happening.
I'll grin back at them both and just be like, "You don't intimidate me. I've seen a lot worse than what I'm sure you guys can do here." If you want, we can go outside and.
How loud are you saying this?
Not. I'm not like yelling, but I'm not whispering. I'm just casually talking, but like.
So you're like.
I'm not whispering, but I am a little quiet because I'm trying to stay under the radar still.
All right. A drunken Goliath sort of walks up to the bar, and as you're saying, it's just like, "Oh, really? You've seen worse than us." Nah. And he starts like poking at your shoulder, and it's just like, "You don't seem so tough to me."
Perhaps you can. Are you familiar with? I gotta find a name. Are you familiar with the Aurora Watch?
Yeah, I've heard of them.
Do you know Tascan Darth Miram?
No.
Well, maybe you're the ones who need to be acquainted with what's actually dangerous in the world.
He'll start like bursting out laughing. He'll say, "Have you ever been in the Netherdeep?"
They did once call me. Sorry, that was a joke. No, I have not.
And he points at his arm, which is like a full like prosthetic arm, and he's just like,
We've got a whole prosthetic person. Like, get good.
Silas, you aren't there, and he's not a prosthetic.
Well
person.
aware, but yes, he is. Don't you tell me what Toby is or isn't. I'll tell you
No,
what
he's a
Toby is or
person.
isn't. He's a prosthetic person.
But yeah, looking up this Goliath, it seems like he has seen the same amount of action as you.
I'm sure you could handle yourself well, as can I. I'm not here to cause problems with any of you.
Seems like you're trying to, lad.
How? How am I trying to? I simply sat down and asked for a drink.
Give me a wisdom check, just a flat wisdom check, please.
So 13.
Yeah. You're able to, as a person, like, this is a shadier part of town, and you came in here flashing a gold coin. Like, they're not saying this as in, like, hey, like, get out of here, we don't want your kind around here. They're saying this as a genuine, like, kid, you're gonna get yourself, like, hurt if you keep flashing money like this. Like, they can tell that you're looking for something, and that you're not doing a very good job of it right now. Like, if you're tracking anybody, they probably know you're following them if this is how you've been the whole time.
That's a little too much information that there's no possible way they would know I'm following someone.
No, but they know you're looking for something, right?
Somewhere, as I said.
Well, that isn't you saying, oh, I'm looking for somewhere. That's just you adding another thing that you could potentially be looking for.
So what's the deal? Do you not want me here? Do you want me to leave? Can I stay?
The Goliath will sort of roll his eyes and he'll walk off. And the bartender will sort of say, listen, you paid me a gold coin for an ale that cost a copper. I'm saying this as when I said that, I was saying, is there information that you would like to know about the area that I would be willing to give you since you paid me so handsomely?
Like I said, I'm simply trying to find a place to settle down.
And I told you, not here.
And I guess that's fine. That doesn't mean I can't continue to drink what I already paid for.
Fair enough, lad. And he'll sort of walk off and start handling other patrons.
That went well. Yeah.
Well, you didn't find him, right? So
yeah.
That's good.
yeah, we'll leave you there, and we'll go to Toby. What are you doing?
God help us all.
These other buildings are available to me. This is this warehouse one looking thing, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'd like to get a little bit close to that and try to scope that around, see what's going on there, and see
Fair,
what's
can
up
I
with
just
that.
confirm which person can talk back to you right now?
Right now,
Was it Miles or was it
I think I would have,
Toby?
stuck with Toby at the end because we
Cool.
had the signal.
Yeah, I thought I missed that bit, so yeah, cool. Just checking that, because if we see Toby going into a building and he can't communicate, I would have gone down. But if he can, then I'll wait.
I won't look to go straight in, but I will like to look around, look at the outside, the perimeter sort of area, you know.
Yeah. So at the immediate entrance of it, you see an Earth Genasi and a Dragonborn sort of sitting there. They're armored, like they're. You can tell immediately they're probably mercenaries, guarding, you know, the warehouse, right? If you wanted to try to like sneak around and look, try to see if you could see what was inside, I need a stealth check.
I'm not going to look to sneak around to look what's inside. I'll just try to see, rather than. So, is this sort of a fenced-off area, sort of thing, or is it just like side alleys and stuff I can look down?
It's not fenced off, but it's you can get the vibe that everyone's staying away from it, right? There's not a lot of traffic going through, but there are some side alleys that you think could lead you to it eventually. It's like the back entrance or something like that. But there's nothing like it's like, oh, I go down here and then I can see the side of it.
No, that's fair. I'll have a little peek down the side alleys, and if this doesn't lead to anything fruitful, I'll probably just look to withdraw back to where I was before. This is not the sort of thing I can really accomplish much of.
Give me a perception check as you're like looking down and scoping out the side alleys.
That'd be an 11 perception check.
You think that there may be a chance, like it's like a small chance, right? That there could be someone down like in these darker alleys where, you know, someone's off of the road, but you think, there's probably a chance that that's, you know, I'm not gonna get mugged if I go down here.
Well, I need to do a quick double check. Where is my steel defender? On my person?
Yeah, I'd say most likely it's on your person right now.
Yeah, in that case that's fine. I'll just start to head down the alley, check what's down there for the time being.
Right. As you go down one or two alleys trying to find your way there, and you come against like you come to a wall, you come to a corner, and when you try to turn around, there are four figures standing there. You can't really get a good look at like, you know, their faces and stuff like that. You can't really tell what race they are. But one of them, he's a little bit of a smaller one, comes up and he says, well, it looks like you went down the wrong alley, friend. We'd be happy to lead you back if you'd be willing to lighten your load a little bit.
Lighten my load, you say?
Yeah.
Tell. Hairtel?
I can't hear what you're saying, sorry.
I said hairtel.
Hairtel? That's not English. no?
Hairtel. As in caretel.
Oh,
Let's tell me
Hairtel.
what do you mean? Yes,
I
caretel.
thought you were saying hair tell. I'm like,
No,
what the fuck do you mean,
caretel.
Jamal? Your coin
Fucking hell.
purse. That those nice clothes you're wearing there. Weird metal thing on your back. We'd be happy to take it off your hands.
Weird metal thing. You mean this thing? And the steel defender will just clatter to the ground and immediately just bring forth like 6 blades. This thing? Are you sure you want to touch that thing?
Yeah, as you sort of do that, one of the bigger ones sort of takes out a giant slab of iron that can technically be called a sword and just smashes it into the ground, and it's just like, yeah, the small shiny thing.
I mean, you could try to touch it if you like, but I don't think it takes too nicely being handled.
Listen here, this doesn't have to get violent.
You're right, it doesn't. You could stand aside. My contraption could just roll on by. And we could simply say this never happened. And that would be very easy and convenient for everyone. Would it not?
Oh, yeah, that would be an easy way to say it, but you say that like you're holding all the cards here, buddy.
Have you seen how many blades this thing has?
You
I
see how many
still
people
don't
there
recommend
are.
touching it. Sorry?
You see how many of us there are. I don't think you quite see it.
I count more blades than people on this thing alone.
As he says that, you notice more figures are on the rooftops that you didn't see previously. About 4 more.
Can we see this from where we are?
Yeah, I was gonna say, did we see the rooftop people?
You see,
We're up in the air, right?
you can see one of them. You can't see all of them just because the buildings are at like different heights and stuff.
Are they
like that.
enclosing towards where Toby went?
You think so? Just because he went down a couple different back alleys, it's
I'll,
hard to keep track of him.
I'll say to Thea, hold on tight. And then I'll lift her and fly over and just so that we're on the same building as them. We're not attempting to be stealthy.
So you land right
At
next
all.
to them?
Well, on the roof. Yeah, right next to them.
Yeah, about 5 crossbows immediately start pointing at you.
Great. Okay. I'll look around to them and I would think it wise for you to sheath those. It's,
Last time I checked, we have you outnumbered here, friend.
I don't think that's going to matter. Yeah, and I'll not actually casting anything specifically, but just I'll use the cantrap green. I'll use the cantrap green flame blade on my sword, just so it sort of lights up, and then I'll just sort of give them as menacing a look as possible, and sort of say, "No, really, I think you should sheath those."
I will use primal savagery to extend my fingernails and give a dirty look.
Meanwhile, what I'll also do, I have one more as well to add to this. I will also use my magical tinkering to target a specific point on my steel defender, and my steel defender as well will start emitting a loop of the eeriest, creepiest, grinding metal sounds that it could possibly manage as well, just to add to this.
Okay. Toby, give me a performance check on that. Thea, give me an intimidation check.
I'm assisting.
Oh dear.
I'm assisting.
Silas, your intimidation check has worked.
Oh,
You're
okay.
pretty intimidating.
Okay.
I just want to see how Thea is, being portrayed right now.
My -1. That's 18.
She's more intimidating
All
than me.
right, you're
Right now.
pretty intimidating right now.
Unfortunately, that is only a 6 performance check.
Yeah, so instead of it being eerie and creepy, it's more of like a jack in the box. Yeah, like a Jack in a Box sort of sound. It isn't coming up across as creepy. It's more of like you're playing like children's music, and they're more confused. Now, the people on the roof, most of them, as you sort of started to flare your strength a little bit, they ignited the arrows on the end, and so they're flaming. But with both of you doing it, yeah, most of them will put the crossbows down and start leaving. But currently, the 4 people in front of Toby are still unaware of what's going on above, so they're still holding strong.
Well, once they clear off, Thayer and I will just simply walk over and look down.
They don't as
No,
they have
no,
no reason
what do
to
we
yet.
see?
Yeah. You see Toby's steel defender out with all of its blades. Toby standing there. You hear some weird children's music coming from the steel defender. And you see two really big guys, a small guy and a medium-sized guy, sort of standing there pretty confidently.
I'll lean over to Thayer and gold piece on Toby.
I don't know what that
Oh, I
means.
know where this is going.
Shall we help him, or shall we watch the carnage?
I imagine we'll help so that
Oh.
it doesn't get too loud eventually. We'll let him go for now.
Yeah, I think I think we will. I think we'll watch. Toby seems to think he
All
can
right.
handle himself. I want to watch.
Yeah.
I
This is
think
gonna
he's just
be-
going to use the wand of lightning bolts and they're all going to disappear.
Yeah, this is gonna be a little mini combat. It's not. I'm gonna ask Toby to roll
Go on,
initiative.
Toby.
More of just to see who acts first.
The
Not
best
really
part
into-
about this all is that in between them and the enemies and Toby, all this time has been Binks lying on the floor with a rock-shaped cloak over his back.
Yeah.
Just chilling in his 28 stealth.
Initiative is a 13.
All right, and I'm gonna ask for one attack roll. We'll see
Huh?
how. We'll see how you do.
I
For him
shall
or-
turn to them and say, is it the Steel Defender's turn to play first? Or is it mine? Take your pick.
I'm not gonna tell you what they got.
It's mine. And I shall immediately jump out and with let's make them make a dex save DC 15.
All right, so you're gonna cast magic.
Yeah, I'm lightning bolting the group
Yeah.
at 5th level.
They all dodge out of the way pretty easy when you kind of gave them a little bit of a heads up that it was coming.
But
Just
half as
yeah,
much on a successful one still. If they all
Well-
dodged, then that's still fine.
Jamal, this isn't like a real combat thing. It's more of
Okay.
just the reason I'm asking for an attack roll is just seeing how well you do in the fight.
Okay.
That's more of what it is.
Well, at the very least, a really great big lightning bolt shooting at them should make them shit their pants slightly, yes? Well, we'll see.
Us?
Yeah.
Well, give me an attack roll with the steel defender as well.
Oh,
just
okay. Yeah, sure.
Because you do get to act
Yeah.
first, so
Okay, then that is a 24 to hit.
all right, yeah. So I'll say for free with the lightning bolt and the steel defender sort of just immediately going crazy. You're able to clean them up pretty quickly. You do kill one of the big guys. You leave the other ones really wounded, and they just immediately scamper off. But as you see them run off, the two guards from before turn down the alley, and they start yelling, "What's going on over here?"
Okay, it's under control. They attacked me. I
will
defended
draw
myself.
back from the roof.
Yeah, Thayer and
Away
I
from
just
the edge.
slowly back off. We're
Really,
good.
because the way we see it here, there's a dead man on the ground and 3 people running away.
Yes, they attacked me. I made a terrible mistake.
You know you're not really helping your case when you say it like that.
Very well then.
If you wouldn't mind coming with us.
If I had been asked to lay bets on who's going to get arrested this episode, I'm pretty sure the odds on Toby were definitely number 5. Out of 5. That's brilliant. Love that.
So we'll leave Toby there and we'll come to Binks. What does Binks want to do?
I think Binks is probably like parkouring his way around the city, frog leaping over garbage bins and stuff like that. I mean, if everyone else is like occupied, he'll probably get there first, ironically.
I'll say for free that you did see the initial starts of each Toby's and Miles's thing. So you saw what buildings they were investigating. So you now have the mystery shop and the apartment complex to choose which you think the man may have gone into.
If he was a cultist, he would have gone in the magic shop. But if it was a normal, upstanding citizen, he would have just gone home. But if he was a cultist, he probably would be doing rituals at home. And if he was a normal citizen, he might have just gone shopping for magical stuff, which we know he's interested in.
Yeah, but what if he knows that you know that? So then he does the opposite of whatever you're
He
thinking.
doesn't know nothing. I will go to the apartment complex.
All right. So you go into the apartment complex. You're able to sort of get into you're able to sneak in and go into like the courtyard. And you do see a couple like candles lit in some of them. There are about 8 buildings, but only about 3 of them currently seem to be occupied. Whether it's you can like smell something's being cooked in there, you can see like candles or lights in there, or you can just hear sounds.
Are there any like ye old mailboxes with people's names on them?
There are some mailboxes, but none of them have names on them. All of them just have like the rooms corresponding to the mailboxes with numbers corresponding to the rooms.
Okay, so the rooms that seemingly have people in them doing things that have got activity in them, I am going to, if there's any like nearby stones or rocks or anything, I'm gonna throw them at the door to see if the people inside open the door to see if that person's the cultist guy.
All right. Roll me a d6 first. To see which one you go to first, unless you want to choose.
No, okay.
All right. So yeah, roll me a d6 and.
I got a 3.
All right. And then roll me a d20 to see what happens.
This where I accidentally break someone's window. Oh, that's a 16.
All right. Yeah. So you pick up a decent-sized rock. It's not too big. You throw it. You do accidentally hit off one of the numbers on it. But you do see the same man that you saw from the library come out. And when the door opens, you smell like it's like a waft of like food smells, and it smells really good. But he like when he opens the door and looks out, it isn't the look of someone like it's like, oh, what happened? It's like genuine fear and panic. And then he notices that a rock just sort of hit the door, and that the number fell. He immediately slams it shut, and you can hear the locking of 500 different locks.
Okay, I think the reason why he's investigating a restricted section magic or magical things is because he's gotten himself into a bad situation and he's trying to defend himself. He's probably gonna try and summon a greater demon, not be able to control it, and it's gonna kill him, and they will have to kill the demon. That's what my money's bet on. Anyways, I am gonna sneak under the window and try and see if I can peer in.
Yeah, so there's no like window pane, right? It's all like an open concept sort of thing. So you're able to peek your head in, and what you see is the writings in like the house of a madman. There is like writing written everywhere, sheets of paper, like string attached. It's like a gigantic it's a big board with a lot of writing on it. Conspiracy board. There we go. I can speak now. There. And you see him frantically walking back and forth, and you hear him muttering to himself. It's hard to make out just because he's a little ways in, and he's talking pretty quiet. But you do hear him say, a couple different things. You hear him say the words... you hear him say the words Cerberus Assembly, and you hear him say after me. That's all you can get.
You were right.
This is
Someone's
the
not
worst
wanted.
time to not have a disguise kit. I don't have any other clothes on me. Oh, that's not true. We switched. Oh no, we didn't. They weren't ready yet.
No, they were. You
We're
have
wearing
them,
desert
but it's
clothing.
like, but you have 2 sets of clothes, but one is like a temple monk, and the other one is like a common desert attire.
He's only seen me in the common monk stuff, right? Or was I changed?
unless you said that you changed to your desert stuff.
I'm gonna say that before I was in the desert attire. Now I'm gonna change into the common monk stuff, and I'm gonna knock on his door.
You immediately hear him sort of like panicking a little bit, and you hear him walk up to the door, sort of. You hear pressure being put onto the door, so you can assume he's sort of like leaning on it, and he's like, "Who is it?"
A friend. Have you heard the good news?
Go away. I don't want to hear any good news, anything like that.
Okay, but you know, you'll be sorry.
Please leave my property, or else I will have to alert the city guards.
Okay, there's no need to get jumpy now. Then I'm gonna go on the next door neighbor so that he hears, so that he doesn't think it's suspicious. So he hears as if I'm
So you go to the next
making the
door.
rounds. Yeah. I'll go to the next door neighbor and knock on the door.
Yeah, so a dwarf will open the door, say, "Aye, what do you want?" And you hear the music. This is the house with the music, and it's very like deep dwarven like tones and like singing and stuff like that. What do you want?
Have you heard the good news?
Is my wife coming back?
Yes. How did you? That is impressive. How did you know?
Oh, wait. No, you're just one of them religious bums. Not interested, thank you. And
Welcome.
he'll slam the door on your face.
I'll go to the next.
Just out of curiosity, Fair, you can communicate with everybody, right? They just can't talk back?
I can reach out to them when I can see them.
Oh, okay, right. Sorry, I thought you had like a long-term connection. I thought because we would have definitely told people that if we could, that Toby's got himself arrested.
We cannot.
Oh well.
We don't have to go through all the neighbors, obviously.
We're
But
not.
yeah.
So,
But
do this,
after I've done a few, so that it's not like weird, I'll just make my way. Oh, the library closes, doesn't it? So I guess I'll just make my way back to our rooms, I guess.
So I just want to remind you before you leave, you were told that if he is a cultist, that you are to hand him over to the guards. Just want to remind you.
I don't know that he's a cultist.
You're not going to go all the way back to our home, though, are you?
Yeah, I've got some evidence.
We're going to reconvene, right?
Well, I don't know where you people are, so I know that at some point
knew where we
Did
were.
hear.
You know where Miles is, and you know where Toby went, and you know where Xylus and Thea were located previously.
Sure, but I can't be chasing them. Have you seen that?
And you know there was a big lightning bolt noise.
That's true. I'd say
that could have been anything and anyone.
Yeah. Can you just not go all the way back home?
I'll
Just
say
from a player sense, can you just
I will
like
go
convene in
find
the
the
street or
party.
something?
I'll say that as you sort of finish and like begin to like try to go home, you see Miles come out of the tavern.
Do I leave the tavern though, or do I stay there forever?
You leave the tavern. I'm gonna say to make sure that Binks stays.
Okay, will Fair and I be able to locate them?
Yeah, they're kind of standing out in the open. They're done really hiding.
Great. We can stop being
Well, I would
ambushed.
have said as soon as we drew back from the edge of the wall, I would have turned to Xylus. Perhaps we should drop down onto the street and run in. After all, our friend called for help
Did
when he was attacked. Yes, and I will nod.
Oh. I'm very confused. Which friend? Like, out of character, which friend?
She's lying. She's
She's-
saying.
Oh,
trying to
why
get
are
Toby
we...
out of it.
We drop down and we run in.
Oh, you...
To our
Sorry, you
good
mean like run
friend.
into the guards?
We
Oh.
run into the alley where our good friend is.
On your own, love. No, I'm serious. I'm not serious. I'll come down with you. And yes, and I'll go with her to approach the guards.
Yeah, the guards. Well, the mercenaries sort of hold. They don't like physically hold them, but they kind of keep Toby in an area, and then 2 city guards show up, and the mercenaries are sort of talking to us, just like, yes, we caught this man. No matter what happened, there is a man dead in the alleyway. Whether it was self-defense or whether it was him assaulting them, he still did use magic to kill a man. It's like, all right. And the guard will be like, all right, thank you. Sir, if you don't mind.
Sorry, do we hear that conversation?
You hear the guard starting to talk. You don't hear what the mercenary
Okay,
said,
cool.
though.
Right, yep.
And you hear the guard say in a very, like, sort of polite voice, he's just like, sir, if you wouldn't mind coming with us, just so that we can get your side of the story, in a more secure place, if you wouldn't mind. He says this to you, Toby.
Hearing that, I'll just lean over to Theron. We're risking ourselves to try and get him out. I think we should complete the mission. I don't think he's any immediate danger.
Silas, give me an insight check real quick.
Yeah, sure. Where's the dice at? 17.
Yeah, you get the sense that they are not in a threatening, like, oh, we're gonna arrest you way. It's more of like, need to hear your side of the story, right?
That's what I meant. Like, he's in no immediate danger of being, like, incarcerated for life. Like, I think we should perhaps leave him to his own devices. And then, we can always go down to the city court or whatever it is post-mission and attempt to extract him. I don't know if we can help him immediately. In the most kindest way possible, Silas is more worried about things. Sorry.
I will talk to Toby. Toby, are you all right?
Yes, now. I am okay.
I am.
Do you want us to continue the mission?
Please do. If there are problems, find me when the mission is done later, if you can. I am in no danger. I think.
All right.
I'll say then everyone but Toby reconvenes sort of.
I don't join with everyone else. I'm staying by myself.
You're staying in the bar?
No. I'm outside and like I can clearly see you guys and you can clearly see me, but I'm not like getting in a group with you so that it's clear we're together. I'm like.
Can we
staying
sort
on
of
my own.
like at you just to see if you found him, like to get a shake of a head?
My hood is still on.
Ah,
I'll
yes,
say,
fantastic.
Binks does say that.
Does he? Binks?
He absolutely does not. I don't know what you people are.
No.
Gonna
We've
tell the
we
party
bumped
you
into
found
you.
him.
But like when we bump into you, if we're just like, have you had any luck finding him?
Yeah,
Where is he?
he's in his apartment.
Perhaps it's time we had a nice, honest, open conversation with him.
You can't do that. He won't let you in.
I can talk through a door. I'm quite persuasive.
Now's not a great time.
Is there a problem?
Abdullah.
Is there a problem? Is there a reason we can't go and talk to him?
Yeah, I just think that in the middle of the night, a bunch of people rocking up to his apartment.
It's like afternoon right now, Banks.
Oh, well, it's midnight somewhere. Why are we sneaking around in broad daylight?
Well, this is the
sneaking
problem that
around.
Xylas had with the whole thing. But we were trying to discern exactly where he was to see if he did anything suspicious. Whether Binks likes it or not.
I thought it was like nighttime.
Can you point out the
it's
damn
not.
apartment? Yeah?
Sure, but I'm
Okay,
still
great.
against it.
That's fine. I would like to approach the door. As the guy that designed an entire character to speak to somebody, I'd like to try and speak to somebody. Is that alright? Thanks.
You go ahead.
I'll take Thea with me. She seems quite cooperative.
It's
I'll
being so difficult.
knock loudly upon the door and attempt to sort of modulate my voice slightly. And just say, "Excuse me, sir. We need a word."
You sense magic being channeled behind the door. And you hear him say, Who are you? What do you want?
We're here to help you. We understand you might be in trouble.
What gives you that idea?
You're being pursued, did you not know? A man came to your door multiple times. I think he was posing as a priest.
You mean the preacher who went to everyone's door? We get that a lot around here.
Yes, it was an act. You should have seen him from outside. He was holding a hand crossbow. He was ready to kill you.
Oh, I'm very sure that that's what it is.
You said we hear the magic going on?
Yeah, you sense that he's channeling magic, but you also get a sense that like
Any idea
it's-
of what kind of magic? Like, does it seem like he's
You
trying to
can't-
teleport away?
No, it's more of like it's how do I describe this? You can't tell exactly what magic is being cast currently, so you don't know what the nature of it is, but you feel it shaky. Like he's scared basically. And that his he's so scared that it's starting to affect his magic.
Okay. Like, I understand that he is genuinely frightened, but I don't know. I'm gonna sort of shout it. That's it! We're coming in! Unless you open the door. And I'm attempting to sort of intimidate him into, like, cooperating. Basically just to say, like, just cooperate and you'll be fine.
Give me a persuasion check, not specifically to convince him, but to get that point across, right? To just basically make him understand that you're not saying this as a threat.
Of all the fucking times, it's a 15 if you allow the guidance. But that's a 3 on the dice.
He slowly opens the door, but you feel the magic starting to, like, not resolve, but become more, like, stern. Like,
Okay, do
it's
we have
being
any
more
idea
focused.
what sort of magic it might be? I mean, we are between us, right? We've covered divine.
Yeah, I'll say
Druidic,
that
we've
you-
covered arcane.
Thea, you recognize it as a flame bolt
Oh.
that he's basically just holding on to, right? And eventually, after like a minute, he like creaks the door open and he says, "What do you want?"
I'm just gonna be honest with him. You're under investigation. We need to ask some questions, and you will answer them.
Or I could call the city guards.
By all means,
harassing
do
me.
after you've answered our questions, and I will just begin to push our way in.
There's currently a lock, like a chain lock on it, so you can't push in unless you're gonna
Yeah,
break.
I'm gonna grab Xylas' shoulder and be like, whoa.
I think well, even so, I think he has at least got to answer for his suspicious manner.
Okay, can I just
Oh, go ahead.
Hi. I'm sorry. Eh, This is our first job. You're a little suspicious.
tell.
You've been researching a lot of really dark things, okay? And it kind of makes you look a little dangerous, and so we're here to find out if you're actually dangerous. I don't know if you actually are, but we'd just like to talk. We're not after you. We're not trying to hurt you. We're just really bad at our job.
He starts laughing as he says that, and he's like, you sense the magic sort of start to disperse, and he's like, okay then, and he'll unlock the door, or he'll fully unlock the door, and he'll say, and he'll stand in the doorway, not like letting you guys in, but he's like, do you need to know?
Are you a cultist?
His face goes like bright red from embarrassment, but also like laughter. And after like a minute, his sort of like recomposes himself, and he says, "Oh, when you said you were bad at your job, you really meant it." And he kind of turns to Xylus, and he's a bit intimidated by Xylus, and he says,
Hmm.
"I was, yes, at one time a cultist."
Thank you for your honesty.
Can we come in? Rather than standing here on the street.
He like looks around, and like you see one of his eyes like flash a different color. And he's like, if it'll help with this, then sure, fine. And he sort of like lets everyone in.
As we enter, and we see the conspiracy wall, I'm just like, I love what you've done with the place.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
As
it
he
is nice.
closes the door and then also goes back to redo all of the locks.
Did Miles follow us in? Oh no, I had to ask that at just the wrong time.
Just jinxed it.
Oh, alright, so yeah. We'll say Miles is currently waiting outside.
You said you were a cultist. What do you mean by were?
Yeah, okay, so it's right. I used to be a member of the Cerberus Assembly, an organization of spellcasters in the Dwellian Empire in Wildmount. I recently fled the organization after I stole an artifact from one of my superiors because of where the artifact had come from and what they were planning on doing with it. I didn't fully agree with, and so I stole it to prevent them from taking it and using it. And I fled here. And the reason why I have been researching all of these things is I've been trying to get into contact with any members of the Cerberus Assembly or any major power or alliance here who can protect me.
Do
Can I
we
get an insight check?
do we reasonably believe that the Cobalt Soul might be capable of protecting him if they so wish to do so? Could we return him to the Cobalt Soul, to Owain, and say, this is his truth. Can you protect him? And leave the decision to Owain?
You could do that.
Obviously we need to persuade him to come with us, but I'm just we could reasonably.
I'll lay out what you know about the Cobalt Soul. You know that they have the research and the resources necessary to help research the Jewel of Three Pairs and your visions. You know they have an organization of people who investigate people slyly and on the down low enough that this would be a job for one of their operatives if you all hadn't shown up.
No, but what I'm saying is, if I try and persuade him to come with us to the Cobalt Soul and he'll tell his story in the hopes that they might protect him, I would know that the Cobalt Soul do potentially have the ability to do that.
Potentially, yes.
Right. Okay. Cool.
You think that could be they could do
yeah.
that, but you don't know if they'd be willing to do that.
How was your insight there?
Can I make that?
Oh yeah, you can make it. Yeah.
Okay.
So I
I'm
just
not gonna
wanted
say
to let
no.
her go first.
25.
You're able to tell that he is 100% genuine in everything that he's said. In that he has no malicious intent currently, and you do sense that, yes, while he is now a disgraced member, he still was a member for a decent time. So
What was the nature of this artifact?
he'll sort of motion over to a staff in a corner, adorned with a snake head.
Lovely.
The staff's nature is that, well, the head of it turns into a snake. Very obvious. But the type of poison that it has is quite unusual and very uncommon. Not many people know about it, and not many people have the antidote for it. And so the plan was to give this to the head of a rivaling kingdom, a rivaling empire, and speak the command word to kill him, and create chaos and havoc on the entire kingdom, so that way we could come in and conquer it. And
Was your cult always into bad things, or was this the first time and you was like, you know what, I need to go?
I won't lie, I have done evil in my past, and we are not 100% good. We never were. But I drew the line when I was told that the plan was to kill him and slaughter the rest of his family and leave one of the orphans, and then basically brainwash and manipulate him into ruling the kingdom with an iron fist.
Oh, that sounds delightful.
My thoughts
I'll
are
look
there.
to him.
Player question.
Go on there.
A player question.
Mhm.
He's talking about the King Dwindle.
I don't know. I'm making.
I don't
stuff
remember
up.
what kingdom you said.
He said he didn't say what kingdom it was happening to. He said
Okay.
that the Cerberus Assembly, which is the cult that he was a part of, he said where it was from, but he never said where this was happening. Like who this was going to happen to, basically. But you get a sense that it's not the kingdom that he was a part of.
Wait, did you say the Cerberus Assembly is the cult?
Yeah.
Yes.
That we did know.
Oh.
I'll look to him, and perhaps you might be willing to exchange some information for protection, if you are truly afraid of these assassins. The Cobalt Soul has the resources to protect you.
Mhm.
They may be willing to do so if you're willing to be honest. Otherwise,
If
the
it'll save
consequences
my life,
for you.
I will do whatever it takes.
Then please come with us. And I'll motion towards the
Fine, then.
staff and look at Thea and say, "Do you think you can safely carry that?"
When you say that, he'll say that the staff won't activate unless the command word is spoken. So unless you accidentally happen to say the phrase that is chosen because of its uncommonality, then I think you should be fine.
I have a question.
Decision.
Yes.
The snake head staff in the corner, does it look eerily similar to the snake's head staff that Owen had?
No.
Okay, just happens to be a snake head staff.
Think about it. It looks more like
Abba?
Jafar's staff from Aladdin. It's more like, it is very obviously bad news, the staff that you're looking at. Owen's staff is more like it's more just like snakes adorn it rather than it being a snake staff.
Okay. I was just looking at it was described and I was like, Okay.
Command
Okay.
word would have to be something the king would say, though, right? So I'm just gonna whisper to the staff, "Off with your head."
Nothing happened.
If Thea seems capable of carrying the staff, then we can lead him and the staff back to Owen, right?
Is Miles joining?
Yeah, are we leaving this area?
That's
Yeah.
the plan.
Yeah, we're heading back
Yeah,
to the Cobalt Library.
yeah. I'll join like as we exit. I'll join like outside of this spooky area.
When you do rejoin, Miles, I'll ask you, did you win anything in the tavern?
Did I win anything?
You weren't gambling?
No, I just won
disappointing.
some. I just won some new enemies. It seems like.
Well, that's not a victory, is it? Never mind.
So
Toby got
nice
arrested.
of you. Anyways,
Yeah.
after a little bit of time, you guys are able to make it to the Cobalt Soul.
Wait, where's Toby?
He got arrested.
What?
He got arrested. He killed someone.
He was a bad cog.
I didn't know this. I was in a tavern.
No, we know. That's when you rejoin. The first thing I say after the gambling thing is, Toby got arrested.
Oh shit.
Yeah. It's okay. He says he's fine. We're gonna try and break him out or something.
Oh.
But I smile.
Explain.
Yeah. I was. Zidus is obviously joking at that moment.
Yeah. You're able to make it to the Cobalt Soul. When you arrive, Question is ironically waiting for you there. She says, "Oh, you brought him here? You were supposed to take him to the gods."
We know,
If
but we thought, given his story, that perhaps we didn't want to do something that could not be undone. You should not do anything that cannot be undone, and we were certain you didn't wish to undo it
And he's not a cultist.
anymore.
he kind of like sheepishly puts his lowers his head a little bit, and Question is just like,
Perhaps
Ba-
you wish to be
Baylor-
the judge?
She sort of says this out loud, and the same. What did I say? I said orc, right? Yeah, the same like captain.
Half-orc.
Half orc. That's what it was. No, not Owen. From
Oh,
when
the god dude?
Binks,
He was an
Binks
ogre.
got arrested. Ogre. That's what I said. Yeah, the same ogre comes down. He's just like, "Yes, Question," and he turns. He sees Binks immediately and narrows his eyes. And Question says, "Can you escort the man with our friends here to the interrogation room? Owen and I will be down shortly. We want to
say-
question this man."
Quietly to the man. It's okay. It's for your own good. It's just where they ask questions.
He sort of nods. He's like, "It's okay."
We don't know that. We don't know what they do in there.
You do. You've been there.
Yeah, and I know that they've got magical traps, and who knows what they'll do to a previously turned cultist.
He's starting to
It's-
sweat
it's-
a little bit.
Thanks. It's the job. I believe these people will treat with him fairly.
Yeah. So the
Do I
ogre-
believe these people will be treated with him fairly?
Well, you're
Question
going
look
with
like
him.
she's about.
so-
Oh, great. Yeah, cool. Okay,
Yeah,
fantastic. Yeah,
so
we'll
it's not like you're just like handing him off. Question goes off down the corridor that you all went down last time, and you're led to the interrogation room. And after a minute or two, Owen and Question show up, and he says, and you all are standing out while Lauren is in the interrogation room by himself currently. He says, and Owen says, "I asked you to take him to the gods."
You did, but we believe that perhaps your capacity for forgiveness is much the same as ours is, and we don't think this man has done anything truly deserving of the gods' attention. But we decided, instead of letting him go, to let you make that call. He's running from the cult.
I'll be the judge
I
of
thought you would.
that. If you'll excuse me, and he'll go into the room with Question, and after like 15-20ish minutes, he'll come out and he says, "Well, he's certainly telling the truth at the very least.
Yes. He is.
I'm not sure that we have the capacity to fully protect him, as he seems very unsure of what is coming after him, but he knows something is. So I'm not. I asked him, and he said he would be fine with going to the gods as long as it wasn't in arresting in chains. It was more of a protection manner. I don't want to fully risk the library for one man that we
No, of
aren't
course.
sure.
But it was your decision to
but
make.
I do accept your judgment. Consider the job a success. And he'll hand you
Level
more.
up?
He'll hand you a more stylized tablet. He says, "This will be the communication that we have. So that way, whenever we have missions for you, we can let you know, and we can tell you the meeting times and stuff like that. But if you want to speak to Loretta on your way out, welcome to the library." And with that, we're gonna end session.
I don't
Yeah,
trust
thank
them at
you.
all.
I love how all the roles have gotten fucking reversed. So now Binks is super suspicious of everybody, and everyone else is just like, let's just chill and relax. But I'll start first with Toby. Your MVP.
Good question. Good question. I'm gonna have to go with. I'm sorry, we're really bad at our job.
That shouldn't have worked. I'm sitting here. I just want to intimidate this fucker. Like, let me intimidate this prick.
I love that. That was so fucking funny. And then followed immediately by, "Are you cultist?"
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah.
James.
So I've got a minor MVP, which was I came back from being out there and you DC'd, and I was like, right, what's happening? And Josh's response was, we found a crate full of free items. They're going like candy. Do you want any? Which amused me. But my favorite bit of the whole thing was Miles's interaction with the bartender and everything. And it was all going, like, Matt was so confident until you were like, you've paid a gold for an ale worth of copper, and you could see that was the only thing that pissed him off in that entire conversation, was that he'd overpaid for his ale. I love that.
Josh.
Mine is the beginning of the story arc of Miles running the Undercity of the
Very poorly. Matt.
I gotta give it to Binks's what do you call it? Complete change in not giving a fuck anymore. And the entire interaction with Lauren, from meeting at the library to then not throwing the rock out the window. Everything about that was just not how it shouldn't have happened, but it is how it happened, so I guess that's fine.
And Alora.
I enjoyed I turn and I go to ask Miles something, and then it's just gone. It's just that timing the first time I go to ask a question. But I gotta give it to our first mission where one of our teammate gets arrested.
Yeah, you couldn't have laid bets on that, could you? What about you, Duff?
I would say, yeah, Toby of all people getting arrested is pretty funny, but also just Binks's like complete willingness to sit there and keep like going back and forth on philosophy with Owen, just being like, well, what if you're a bad guy? It's just like, yeah, well, you're perfect. And Owen sitting there being just like, yeah, you're perfectly right. I couldn't totally be just some evil BBEG, right? And he like not like denying it, but not saying yes. I found that hilarious. It was like a baby version of Toby talking to the wall about death.
Have you guys seen Treasure Planet? I make
Yes.
one more comment. This entire place seems like the trading town when everyone stops Jim when he's about to get on the ship in the beginning of the movie.
That's
Yep.
yeah.
They had everyone in this little area had that same exact personality, like big, rough, tough guy. What are you doing here?
Manchester
Also,
Spaceport.
I also forgot another huge one is Miles is like oh, everyone back off, I'm rough and tough. And they're just like, dude, you're like all of them like just genuine like worried about you. Not even like none of them came off as like, oh, we're gonna stab you and like murder you thing, or like we're gonna rob you. It's just like you're overpaying for your food and stuff like that. Like,
Well, that wasn't clear. I thought they were trying to intimidate me to leave.
but
Yeah.
I'll hand it back to you, James.
Yeah, that's where we're gonna end. If you guys would like to say goodbye,
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Next time.
we shall see you
Till
soon.
next